Canadian gold producer Equinox is surging today after beating estimates in the fourth quarter. It also declared its inaugural dividend. For more on their future plans, joining us now is Darren Hall, CEO of Equinox Gold. Darren, thanks very much for joining us.
Roger, thank you, and appreciate you taking the time.
Let's talk about that first dividend. What brought it about this time, and how long can you see this continuing?
Yeah, no, it's been a journey over the last 7 years to get us to the position to announce the inaugural dividend today, and it's off the basis of a significant deleveraging program over the last 6 months. Since the completion of the merger with Calibre in June, we've taken the company from approximately $1.4 billion US in net debt to ending January at less than $100 million. So, with positive gold price, with ramping up 2 Canadian assets, we see strong cash flow from operations, significantly deleveraged. So, hey, thought it was an opportune time to start with initial dividend, and it's part of a longer term approach to returning capital to shareholders.
And at 0.015, is that where you'd like it to be? Would you like it to see more, or can you see it growing through the next little while?
No, I think it's a start up. It's a start of a journey to increase that return to capital to shareholders. I mean, we've got some fantastic organic growth in front of us, and given the buoyancy of metal price, the solid and reliable performance we see out of the operations, I think we can continue to fund the organic growth and look at increasing that return of capital to shareholders vis-a-vis both the dividend, and we announced the application for an NCIB as well today. So.
And do you see that going forward? 5% of outstanding shares. Can you see that happening, or are you waiting for the right moment?
No, I think that we've applied with a full intent of being able to utilize that facility over the next 12 months. It's not a promotional gig. It's just, we'll see there's going to be opportunities where for whatever reason, we do see the opportunity to come in and buy shares in the market, particularly as we see ourselves undervalued with respect to a number of our peers. So, and when there's the days too, and we see a little bit of a kind of a slowing in the trade, we'll take the opportunity to pick that up.
And what would it take for that moment to happen to buy them back? You said a little bit of slowing in the trade, but what else would it take to convince you now's the time?
No, it's really it's a little liquidity position. We're in a good position from a liquidity profile. We're only early in. I mean, we've kind of made some pretty rapid changes here in the last 7 months, and we're putting in place these facilities, and we'll start to execute on this over the next months.
Okay,
and now continue to ramp it up through the course of the year.
Sorry about that. And now you mentioned about organic growth. Where do you see that happening, and by how much?
Yeah, no, we have a kind of an almost an unrivaled organic growth pipeline, and particularly considering that these opportunities were identified a number of years ago when gold prices were much lower, but the company didn't have the capacity nor capability to be able to deliver those. Now, with the delivered balance sheet, with the organization we have today and the buoyancy of metal price, it's setting up for a great 2027 and beyond. And specifically, we've got some organic growth in Canada with the expansion of the newly minted Valentine project to expand that capacity from its current 2.5 million ton to 4.5 to 5, which we would intend to start that program this year. And then Castle Mountain in the United States, which is in the FAST-41 process, and we've been insured by the US government. We'll have a recorded decision here in late 2026, which will be our next phase of growth. And the sleeping giant in the background, which is Los Filos in Mexico, which we're encouraged by the recent discussions we're having with our stakeholders in Mexico, and some very positive change in sentiment there. So, no, we're in a very good position.
Any concerns in Mexico with what unfolded over the last little while with the kidnapping of those the mine employees down there? Not with, of course, not with you.
A terrible situation, and my heart goes out to all of those impacted, the employees, friends, and family of the Vizsla team. I mean, a very tragic thing. In every environment that you operate in, there's idiosyncrasies and things you need to be aware of. Where we're operating, we have good relationships with all of our stakeholders. It doesn't mean it's not without risk, as is every environment. But no, we don't see anything in particular of concern in where we're operating. But you need to be aware, and you need to ensure that above all else, you're maintaining very positive relationships with the communities you operate in and the stakeholders in and around them. So, no, I'm comfortable with where we sit at Los Vilos.
And with Brazil, I mean, it was sold. Is everything all cleaned up now? Is it all off the table?
Yes, it is. I mean, it's the transaction closed on January 23rd, and we received $900 million, which immediately went into a significant delevering activity in terms of repaying some fixed loans that we had, and also reducing our revolver, our overdraft, if you will, which was a significant contributor to our deleveraging. We're working through the transition out of the business with our partners at CMOC there as they pick up the operations and run forward. But it's the deal's closed, and we're moving on and focused on our Canadian assets, ramping up those, continuing our existing portfolio of assets in the Americas, and looking forward to these growth opportunities we see in the portfolio.
And that claim from the Bahia Group, what kind of an impact is that having?
No, there's a little noise in the background there with respect to, but we're very comfortable that we've transacted consistent with the laws and all of the environments our partners have as well. So we don't see a significant level of risk there, but there is a claim that we need to work through with a stakeholder to ensure that we do that respectfully and close out that chapter in. But the transaction is closed, cash is in the bank, it's been dispersed.
Okay, Darren, thank you very much for joining us today.
Okay, appreciate it, Roger. Take care. Thank you.
Cheers. Darren Hall is the CEO of Equinox Gold.